Every year, over 700 million car batteries are made. But what happens after they die is far more extreme than most drivers imagine. Because inside some US recycling plants, millions of dead batteries are processed in an environment so corrosive, it literally destroys heavy machinery. And the most dangerous part of the process is hiding in plain sight. In the United States alone, more than 100 million car batteries fail every year, and nearly 1 out of every 10 ends up in facilities like this. At the center of the plant sits a massive acid pit spanning over 21,000 square feet. Inside it is battery acid powerful enough to slowly eat through solid steel. Even the machines working here are on borrowed time. The excavators operating in this pit cost up to $250,000 each. But in this chemical environment, most survive less than 6 months. They move through a corrosive slurry of battery acid in a place where metal doesn't just wear out, it dissolves. And that's exactly why this facility is engineered the way it is. Once the acid is drained from each battery, its chemical transformation begins. The liquid is filtered, then carefully mixed with sodium carbonate to neutralize it. The result is sodium sulfate, a compound commonly used in everyday laundry detergent. But the acid was never the real prize. The real value is the lead. Every year, discarded car batteries contain more recoverable lead than all the world's lead mines combined. Which raises the critical question, how do you safely extract it without creating a toxic disaster? Mountains of used batteries are dumped onto massive conveyor systems. From there, they're fed into a 200-horsepower industrial shredder, a machine powerful enough to tear through thick plastic casings and internal metal components without hesitation. But this is only the beginning of the breakdown. The shredded material drops into a hammer mill where spinning steel hammers pulverize everything even further. Next, the mixture enters a hydrodynamic separator filled with water. And here, gravity does the sorting. Heavy lead sinks, plastic floats. Within minutes, the battery is completely separated into reusable streams. The plastic fragments are cleaned and blown into transport trucks, headed for recycling plants where they'll be melted into small plastic pellets, ready to become the casing of future batteries. Meanwhile, the recovered lead moves deeper into the system, and this is where temperatures start to rise fast. Before smelting, the lead paste is squeezed dry, but the wastewater still contains dangerous metal contamination, so chemical agents are added, forcing the remaining particles to sink to the bottom of large treatment tanks. Every drop of water is tested. Only when it meets strict environmental standards is it released safely. The recovered sludge, however, goes straight back into production, because in this plant, nothing valuable is wasted. Next, the solid material enters a massive industrial dryer for about 20 minutes. All remaining moisture is removed, because what comes next requires extreme heat. The dried lead mixture is fed into a giant smelting furnace. This is the most critical stage of the entire operation. Inside the furnace, temperatures reach approximately 2,550 degrees Fahrenheit. The lead begins to glow bright red, impurities start separating, and the metal remains inside this controlled inferno for nearly 10 hours. But the process isn't finished yet. At this stage, small amounts of high-purity silver are added. Not for cost, for performance. Because silver dramatically improves electrical conductivity, corrosion resistance, high-temperature durability. 3 things modern automotive batteries absolutely depend on. The molten lead then moves to a refining kettle. Here, caustic soda is introduced. Remaining contaminants float to the surface and are precisely removed. What remains is highly purified lead. And now comes the transformation you can actually see. The molten metal is poured into molds. Instantly, jets of cold water hit the surface. In just 4 minutes, the glowing liquid solidifies into heavy ingots weighing about 44 pounds each. What started as hazardous waste is now valuable industrial material again. From a single ingot, manufacturers can produce up to 3 new car batteries. And this plant alone produces roughly 100,000 tons of purified lead every year. Most of it becomes lead oxide, the active material inside every battery plate. From here, the journey moves south to one of the largest battery factories in the United States. Because recycling the metal was only phase 1. Inside every car battery, a tightly controlled chemical system is at work. Lead electrodes submerged in sulfuric acid create the reaction that starts your engine. But there's a hidden engineering challenge. To deliver enough power to crank a vehicle, a single battery needs around 100 internal plates. And fitting that many plates into one compact case requires extreme precision manufacturing. The process begins with solid lead bars about 4 inches thick. 7 massive rolling mills flatten them down to sheets just 0.02 inches thick. These thin strips are then expanded into fine lead mesh, the structural backbone of each electrode plate. Next comes one of the most critical steps. The mesh is coated with ultra-pure lead oxide paste because the quality of this material directly determines battery lifespan, cold cranking, power voltage, stability. In simple terms, this powder decides whether your car starts on a cold morning. The coated strips are cut into individual plates and sent through a drying oven at about 284 degrees Fahrenheit. But they're still too soft, so they enter a curing chamber for 33 hours. Only then are they strong enough for assembly. Each finished plate produces about 2 volts, but your car needs much more. So manufacturers install 6 plate groups inside every battery case. Connected in series, they produce roughly 12.6 volts, the standard required to start modern vehicles. Positive and negative plates are separated using polyethylene envelopes to prevent internal short circuits. The case is heat-sealed, terminals are welded, and then comes the final chemical step. Each battery is filled with about 1.3 gallons of sulfuric acid solution. But at this moment, it still can't deliver power. First, it must be charged. Inside massive charging halls, up to 40,000 batteries at once are connected to high-capacity power systems. These lines deliver around 180,000 kilowatts of electricity, enough to power roughly 100,000 homes. This charging process triggers the electrochemical reaction that allows the battery to store and release energy. After final testing, inspection, and labeling, the batteries are shipped worldwide, ready to start engines for the next 4 to 5 years. All built from materials that were once considered hazardous waste. Because in heavy industry, nothing truly disappears. It just gets recycled under extreme conditions. If you want to understand how other critical systems survive under this same level of pressure, you'll find more videos on this channel. Like this video if it helped you see what normally remains invisible. And subscribe to keep discovering how the systems that run the world truly work.